good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Emily Goodman with another severe update. This time it is a tornado warning that is pushing into the eastern Kentucky area. This tornado warning is issued for Montgomery County. That's going to go until 5:30. So we're going to stay on the air until this either weakens or we start to see this removed from our viewing area. So again, these storms have had an extremely windy past. There's been a multiple trees down, some snapped in half, some uprooted. So we're going to kind of walk you through this as we move through the next at least several minutes. So again, tornado warning that is in effect for Montgomery County. It even covers a part of northern Powell County and far western Bath County, and this is until 5:30 p.m. So I'm going to get everything set up here, and I'm going to go to the wall, and we're going to kind of walk through this together. So again, the Mount Sterling area, you're pretty much in the clear from this, but there are many locations. The Jeffersonville area, you need to be in your safe space right now. Not seeing anything as far as our Barron model is concerned with rotation. Let me look over here to the reflectivity and let's see what we see with storm relative velocities. We have, maybe there is just a little bit of rotation within this. So I'm going to try to go over to the wall and kind of walk you through this. So again, we've had multiple rounds of severe storms over the past several days. Obviously, it's kind of culminating right now on this Sunday afternoon to some very heavy rain that has been falling, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. Again, you can kind of start to see a little bit of that rotation right now taking shape in that western part of the Bath County area. So again, or Montgomery County area rather. So again, tornado warning until 5:30 p.m. Let's go on back to reflectivity. Let me get my bearings here. Let's kind of see what's going on with, let's go to max track. Track this live. See if I can zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so again, we're in a larger area of a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is the orange color that you see, the polygon. So the tornado warning is within that severe thunderstorm warning. And we have had multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. It's just now that a tornado warning has been expired. A lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings have at least said tornado is possible, but again, this is the first tornado warning of the day. So if you're in the Camargo area, you need to be in your safe space right now. Remember the sea duct method. You got to close those interior doors. You got to get to the lowest level of your home. Basement is preferred. If you are in a mobile home, you do not need to be there right now. So again, we've got some warning from this storm as it moves over to the east, and it's moving around 45 to 50 miles per hour. So it's not sitting still. It is moving at a pretty good clip. So within the next few minutes, we will be tracking this storm. Of course, we're going to be watching as it starts to move closer over toward, let's see if we can expand this out. So the Camargo area, again, within 2 minutes, that storm is going to be on top of you. Jeffersonville, you're looking at about 5 minutes. Lucky Stop, you're looking at about 7 minutes. Hope, 9 minutes. Means, 10 minutes. Cornwell, 14 to 15 minutes. Again, and this is going to be pushing on over toward the Frenchburg area in the next 20 to 25 minutes. So let's go back to, let's take a look at reflectivity if we can, if I can get rid of all of this. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Let me clear this out. Okay, here's the stop. Okay, so again, tornado warning. Let me go back to reflectivity. So at least we can see kind of where this is moving. Again, we've been tracking these storms. There has been a past of some very strong winds, damaging winds, but now it seems to be there could be a little bit of rotation within this. Let's go over to velocity. Let's go to the Jackson radar. Okay, so now they're showing a little bit, at least the rotation icon. And again, that's going to be right over the Camargo area. So again, if you are in Camargo, if you are anywhere in Menifee County as well as Montgomery County, you need to be in your safe space right now. Don't hesitate. Don't be outside taking pictures of funnel clouds or looking for hail. Be inside in the basement or at least the lower level of your home right now. Again, tornado warning in effect until 5:30 p.m. So we've got about another 15 minutes to go on this. Tracking again the very strong winds that are in effect right now. And again, if we kind of zoom out, you can see that this is obviously a part of a larger storm system. There are still multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in play until 5:45. Again, this tornado warning is right in the middle of this particular severe thunderstorm warning, and this is the same storm that just blew through Lexington about 30 minutes ago. So let's go back over to Max Track and let's see what kind of reflectivities we have. Let me zoom back in here. Okay, so we still have that symbol showing some rotation. So again, at the very least, there's going to be some extremely heavy rain and some very strong winds with this. We have had some reports of maybe on smaller hail on the smaller side, not like golf ball or baseball size hail that we have been dealing with for the past several days. But again, you're looking at that tornado warning that is in place again for Montgomery County, and it does extend over into Bath County. So I'm going to pull back out some of these towns. Again, it's moving to the east, possibly around 45 to 50 miles per hour. So let's go 45 miles per hour. So where will it be within the next few minutes? Jeffersonville, it is right on top of you. 1 minute. Lucky Stop, you're looking at 3 minutes. Hope, 6 minutes. Cornwell, 10 minutes. Rothwell, 11 minutes. Sudeth, 16 minutes. And even Frenchburg area, 16 minutes. So if you are even out over around the Moorhead area, the Frenchburg area there, Menifee County, you need to go ahead and be getting to your safe space right now because the storm will be upon you before you even know it. So again, severe thunderstorm warning, but we're really watching the tornado warning that is in place right now. Let's go back over to, let me see if I can clear out some of this, and we'll go to our storm relative velocity to see if we can get a closer look at any kind of rotation that's coming in here. Okay, so this storm is right on the Jeffersonville area. It does look like there is some rotation. You've got the red that's going away from the Jackson radar. You've got the green that's coming down toward the Jackson radar. So right over Jeffersonville, that is where at least radar is indicating some rotation. And of course, Bain just came in, so she's going to be helping me out. Bain, are you logged into chat, or are there any sort of warnings, or not warnings, but reports of anything in the area?
As of right now, still looking at, they're continuing that tornado warning until 5:30. Tornado was radar indicated as of right now, and that's about it for right now.
Okay, so tornado warning, it's just radar indicated as of right now. That doesn't mean you're able to get out of your safe space. You still need to be in your safe space, and it's going to continue to go on until 5:30, so that's why we're going to stay on until we start to see that kind of winding down. But again, there looks like a pretty strong rotation that's going on. Again, the brighter the colors, the stronger that area of rotation is. So the brighter greens, the brighter red colors. We're hoping that this really weakens. But again, Camargo, it looks like you may be okay. You're out of the worst of it. Let's go back over to Max Track. Let's get the rain going, the reflectivities. Again, the Barron model shows this symbol that looks like a spinning plate or something. That's just a marker to show where there could be rotation. So again, we're not seeing any reports coming in just yet from the Montgomery County area that it shows any sort of damage from tornadoes, but we have had a lot of damage in the past from even maybe straight line winds. So we started to see the storms developing into severe thunderstorm warnings with tornadoes possible, and now we're in full-blown tornado mode. So again, Jeffersonville, you're looking at the very least, some very strong winds. You got a lot of very heavy rain as well as lightning, and probably hearing some loud thunder too. So I'm going to take you to a look at some of our other models. Let's go here. Let's just give you a look at the Sea Duck just to kind of remember what is going on. So Sea Duck, these are the places you need to be during a tornado. Close those interior doors. You need to be downstairs. You need to be under something. In the center of your house, you also need to keep away from windows or doors with windows, doors with glass. Again, take something sturdy with you to put over your body and your head to protect yourself, especially if there's going to be some debris flying around. Again, this is only for a tornado, but it's also good to use for severe thunderstorm warnings, especially if you have some really strong winds blowing through the area. And especially if you have the sound outside of your house, maybe of trees falling down. So let's take it back over to our radar product so we can see what is going on. Backtracking, the heavy rain, the lightning, the thunder. Again, tornado warning in effect right now for Montgomery County. It also clips part of Bath County, and it extends down into the Powell County area. Again, at the very least, what you're seeing is some extremely heavy rain, strong winds. Let's go back over to our radar products. Let's go to storm relative velocity, and let's see if we're seeing any kind of storm rotation. Okay, as this storm is moving to the east, around 45 to 50 miles per hour, it looks as though the possibility it could be weakening a little bit. There's still a lot of green that is showing up though, right over and just east of the Jeffersonville area. Let me see if I can zoom in here and get some roads. Lucky stop, this storm is also right up on you, where you kind of see the gap here in between the red color. And of course, it just expanded. So it is now moving over into and kind of pushing out of the Montgomery County area. So it's right on the border right now. So the severe thunderstorm warning goes out and extends on beyond that. But it's a matter of time before we tell whether the tornado warning will in fact be extended or not. Let's go zoom back out. A lot of lightning with this storm, with this cell. Bain, are we seeing anything in chat?
Not quite yet. They are just continuing that tornado warning as well as that severe thunderstorm warning a little bit further west.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so obviously we've had the severe thunderstorm watch that's been in effect. That is still in effect for the entire state. But right now, a lot of those severe thunderstorm warnings that were back around the Richmond area, Paris, even pushing over toward where we are right now. Bath County, Montgomery County, Menifee County. A lot of those have been expired. Again, it's this one tornado warning, this one problem area that's sitting right here in the polygon of that outer severe thunderstorm warning. So it's like a storm within a larger area of a storm. And again, we were watching at least the potential for some rotation. It looks like maybe it has weakened just a little bit. So we still have about another 7 minutes or so to go on this because that tornado warning does go until 5:30 p.m. And again, that's, yes.
Tornado warning till 5:45 now for Bath, Menifee, and Montgomery County.
Okay, Bath, Menifee, and Montgomery County, they have now extended. There it is, the tornado warning, and now it's pushing on into the Menifee County area, which is going to include the Frenchburg area. So we're going to keep it here so you can see what's going on radar as we are tracking these storms. Again, we've been watching these multiple rounds of storms coming through, and it has been, I'm sure, no doubt, impacting your 4th of July holiday weekend, but this is kind of the culmination of it. This is a part of a low pressure system and a cold front that's been pushing through the area. We have had tremendous amounts of rain. We have had a lot of lightning and thunder, and of course today we've had some really strong wind gusts, and we've had reports of some small hail on the smaller side, at least maybe up to quarter size hail. Nothing really beyond that, which is good news, but now we're tracking the potential for tornadoes. So as of right now, the tornado warnings are based on radar. We're not getting any reports of confirmed funnel clouds, confirmed tornadoes on the ground, or even damage from tornadoes. But again, these are radar indicated. They're taking into account all of the action that's going on in the atmosphere right now, whether it be the high dew points or whether it be the temperatures and the sunshine that we got today. And it's kind of putting it into a model that's showing the potential for at least some rotation within this larger storm. So as of right now, there are 2 tornado warnings in place. I expect in the next 5 or so minutes they will drop the one that's over Jeffersonville, and then of course continue with this tornado warning. That one is going to go until 5:45, and this one really includes the northern part of Menifee County. It also includes the southern part of Bath County, and let's see, back over to us, maybe a portion of Powell County, Montgomery County, Menifee, and Bath County. Okay, so Montgomery, Menifee, and Bath County. Powell County is still included in this first tornado warning that will be expiring here within a few minutes. So let's zoom in here to kind of see what's going on. Again, a lot of lightning with this cell. There has been a lot of torrential rain as well. It looks as though maybe the worst of it, that rotation that we've been tracking, is maybe starting to push a little bit on into the Menifee County area. This storm is just northwest of the Cornwall area. So if you are in Cornwall, you need to be in your safe space. We're going to zoom over here and take a look at some of these extra cities. Sudeth, Frenchburg, you all need to be in your safe space as well, because again, this storm is moving very quickly. It's moving around 45 miles per hour. It is moving almost due east. So everything east of this track, of course, is going to be in the path. So let's take a look at the track here. Let's go from the area of rotation, and let's zoom on out here. So I'd say within the next 15 or so minutes, you're looking at Sudeth kind of being in the line of this storm, Frenchburg in about 18 minutes, Ratliff in about 25 minutes. So there's just a lot going on. Let's kind of take a look back, let's zoom out a little bit. Again, 2 tornado warnings currently in our viewing area right now. These are over in the eastern Kentucky area. Jefferson just came out of this. Frenchburg, you're going to be next. So this is moving into the Menifee County area. It also includes a portion of southern Bath County. Let's take a look at radar now. Let's go back to Max Track. Let's see, there is still a lot of rain associated with this. Obviously, we've been watching this just whole area of rain moving through central Kentucky. You still have some storms that are back over to the west as well. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings right around the Louisville area. You've got some scattered or more isolated storms right now firing up in the Boyle County, Danville area, Lincoln County, Casey County, stretching all the way back into maybe Bowling Green. But again, this area that we're watching right now is the worst of it, and it is the tornado warning. So let's zoom back in over here. So Moorhead, you're not too far away from the action. Mount Sterling, you're okay for now. Camargo, I think the worst has passed you as well. You still got a lot of heavy rain that's all down through Stanton. Keep in mind, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning that's in place too for Powell County until 5:45. That also includes a chunk of Estill County, I think it does not include Clark County. They're out of that. It also includes Montgomery County. So again, tornado warnings are pushing over to the east. We have at least radar indicated areas of rotation that is cause for concern, which is why they have issued tornado warnings from the Jackson National Weather Service in Jackson, which is Breathitt County. And of course, that's this action is going to be staying a little bit farther north of the Jackson County or the Breathitt County area. So again, let's take a look back at least some extremely heavy rain that is following a lot of lightning. Let's go back to velocity. Severe, or at least storm relative velocity, to see, kind of put it into a context of the actual movement of the storm. Let's zoom in here. Still looking at a little bit of rotation. That is going to be over and kind of pushing into the far northwestern part of Menifee. So it is northwest of the Frenchburg area. The rotation doesn't seem to be too strong, which is good news. But even if there's a little bit of rotation, that is enough to produce a tornado, at least a funnel cloud in the sky. So this is not the time for you to be outside taking pictures. Of course, we want those pictures when it is safe to do so, but not during a tornado warning. Not where you live, not if you live within that polygon of the tornado warning. Again, these storms have a history of producing some very strong winds. Nothing as far as the tornado is concerned thus far, but this is why we have started to see these tornado warnings popping up, is because the threat is becoming a little bit more concerned for tornadoes. Again, so rotation is possible right at the border here of Bath County and Menifee County. And again, you can kind of see it's a weak rotation. There's not a lot here. There's a lot of these bright green colors, and so that is the rain, or that is the air that's being pulled kind of toward the radar, which is a little farther south, and then the red goes away. So right in here is going to be that area of rotation that you see, and that's also where the worst of that lightning is, although I don't think the lightning is quite as bad as it has been in the past day or two. So a lot of these brighter green colors kind of showing up. Again, we're starting to see a lot of that rotation really away, the air and the wind that's moving away from the radar really weakening. So that is a good sign. Also, the tornado warning back over to the west has now expired. So we just have the one in place right now, and it's going to go for about another 14 minutes until 5:45 p.m. So again, still tracking a lot of this, the action that's going on. Still have the severe thunderstorm warning in place as well. So that's until 5:45 p.m. So we have both the tornado warning and the severe thunderstorm warning all wrapped up in one package, moving through some of your eastern Kentucky counties. So if you zoom out, you can kind of see where we are in relation to Lexington. It's moved past Clark County, now pushing into Montgomery County, obviously beyond into Menifee County, and the severe thunderstorm warning stretches up a little bit to the west of the Moorhead area. Hasn't quite arrived in the Campton area there in Wolfe County either. So let's take a look again at reflectivity. Let's go to Max Track Live Doppler. Let's look at the rain associated with this. Obviously, I know that that's not the worst part, but a lot of these storms have had a history of producing at least almost flooding conditions, at least torrential rain. And so we've had multiple rounds of these storms, multiple rounds of the heavy rain that has been moving through not only central Kentucky, but a good chunk of the state of Kentucky. So we've seen multiple rounds of heavy rain. We've seen multiple rounds of not only lightning, strong thunderstorms, loud claps of thunder, but also some damaging winds today. We've already had some reports of trees either snapped in half or even uprooted. We did have some reports from that in the Versailles area. So again, it was possible, obviously we had mentioned that since we were under that enhanced risk for severe weather today, that it was possible we could see at least some sort of rotation from these storms. Okay, let's zoom in here and let's look at the storm itself that is currently moving toward the Frenchburg area. Again, these storms are moving to the east, so you can see there's torrential rain. Not seeing a whole lot of black involved in that, so that may be a good thing as far as the hail is concerned. Let's look at the shear rate to see what kind of shear we have going on. So there's a little bit of twist in the atmosphere. So that's some not so great news for our friends over in Menifee County, especially there on the border of Montgomery and Menifee County. Obviously the green is okay, that means it's weak. But once you move on over toward the red and even the yellow, that gets into the extreme range. So you can see that darker red showing up. That just means the shear means there's twist in the atmosphere, which then lends itself to the potential for more rotation in the atmosphere, which is why, again, we have that tornado warning that is in effect right now. Let's see if I can move this somewhere. So again, tornado warning in place. If you're just now joining us, tornado warning for Menifee County. This is northern Menifee County and southern Bath County in Kentucky, in eastern Kentucky, until 5:45 p.m. We're going to stay on the air until at least either we start to see this weakening or the National Weather Service goes ahead and it lets this expire. So let's go back over to the Jackson site. Let's go to velocity and storm relative velocity, and let's see. Okay, so now the storm is continuing to push just north of the Frenchburg area. I imagine you're still getting some extremely strong winds in Frenchburg right now. So though you're not particularly right in the path of the storm Frenchburg, you still need to be in your safe space. In a basement if you have it, if not the lowest level of your house. Keep away from doors and windows, glass. The potential for that breaking and hurting you is there. So which is why we always say get to the basement if you have a basement. If you live in a mobile home, you do not need to be in a mobile home. That is one of the most dangerous places that you can be. So do get somewhere safe, in your safe space right now. It looks like we're starting to see a lot of this rotation is not looking super strong, but we can't let our guards down because it could, of course, continue to move into more areas that haven't been overworked yet. So there's been a lot of real estate over in eastern Kentucky that has not seen severe weather this weekend yet. So that means the fuel is still there. The heat is still there, possibly even some sunshine, your high dew points. That's where all of those ingredients for storms come together and then produces, you know, what we call this bad scenario, which is obviously a tornado warning. So again, tornado warning in effect for another 10 or so minutes, about 9 or so minutes here. Again, Frenchburg, you're still in the path of the storm. You need to be in your safe space. Let's zoom in here and get a look at some maybe roads or more areas that will be impacted. Sudeth, you're still looking at that storm right on top of you. Ratliff, you need to be in your safe space as well because that eastern part of the rotation is starting to head toward you. Again, Bain, what are we seeing as far as reports? Anything reported?
We just got another severe thunderstorm warning in place. That's going to be for Bath, Breathitt, Elliott, Estill, Fleming, Johnson, Lee, McGoffin, Menifee, and Morgan, Powell, Rowan, Wolf. All of that's going to be until 6:15. So that's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning. And also getting quite a few reports here in Fayette County with some trees down, as well as over in Clark County.
Okay, so the same storm system that rolled through Fayette County and through Clark County is now pushing over into eastern Kentucky. And this severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued, now they're just broad brushing it. So now they're just saying, anything is possible. Lots of counties over in eastern Kentucky, you are in the path of the storm. So again, the tornado warning is the worst part of it right now. We don't have any reports of any rotation that is confirmed or touchdown or reports of damage from a seeming tornado, but I'm sure they will be sending out teams this evening and for the next couple of days to verify whether these are straight line winds or just severe thunderstorm damaging winds or indeed tornado damage. So again, Moorhead, you are included in the severe thunderstorm warning, and that includes, again, multiple counties. You can see there's still some more severe thunderstorm warnings pushing up into far northern Kentucky. There's some back over toward the Louisville area as well. So if we zoom back in here, you can kind of see what's going on. You've got a large complex of storms. Let's go back over to MaxTrack, and let's go to sweep so we can see a lot of heavy rain. You'll not only have rain that's extending north and outside of that severe thunderstorm polygon, but all the way down through it, back toward Richmond, back toward Berea, down into Rockcastle County, Lincoln County, beyond into Garrett and Boyle County as well. So let's go back in here and kind of take a look at the tornado warning itself, which I'm sure at least is going to be going on for at least another 5, 6, 7 minutes. They have shortened it a little bit, so now they're kind of moving it on over toward the northern central part of Menifee County, which is obviously right over the Frenchburg area. and this is difficult to see. I know there's a lot of red. There's a ton of lightning. There is a ton of rain with this too, torrential rain. And at the very least, I'm sure they're seeing some really strong wind gusts. If you are able to do so, if you have received thunderstorm damage, feel free to email us, find us on Facebook and Twitter, and send us those pictures. Not if you're in the tornado warning though right now. Once this thing passes, if you have damage, of course, feel free to send that to us. But right now, you need to be in your safe space. Frenchburg, you need to be there. Again, this tornado warning is going to go until 5:45 p.m. So that's just a few more minutes from now, about 6 more minutes. And we'll see if they continue to extend it. Let's go take a look at velocity. Let's see what velocity is doing. That lets us know what kind of rotation we're looking at. So if we zoom on in here, of course, you can see still some rotation there. When you've got the green, that means it's going toward the radar. When you have the red, it's coming away. So if we were to draw this, the rotation would look like it's about right in here. So that's, of course, going to be just to the northeast of the Frenchburg area. And again, we're not seeing a whole lot of bright red colors. I would be a little bit more concerned if we were seeing some bright reds and bright greens right next to each other. That would mean a tighter couplet or a tighter rotation, which would then spawn up a tornado. But I'm not seeing that right now. Again, that doesn't mean that there's nothing there. But the Barron model has now dropped their symbol, indicating that maybe there's some possibility of some weakening. So if I were a betting person, I would say that they probably will be expiring this at 5:45. Bain, is there any talk of extending that tornado warning?
Nothing about extending or expiring quite yet.
Okay. So we'll go another 5 minutes or so. Again, you can see that rotation. Let's take a look at some of the cities and towns that are involved in this. Let's go zoom in a little bit more. You still have that rotation that's sitting right over Ratliff right now. If you live in Ratliff, obviously, Sudeth as well, you need to be in your safe space. Scranton, you need to be in yours as well. Even on over into Big Woods, even though you are not included technically, there's the edge of the tornado warning. Big Woods, you're not included in that tornado warning, but you still need to be in your safe space because we not only have the potential for the tornado warned storm to head your direction, at the very least, we're looking at some very heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and the possibility of damaging winds. We've had some reports of wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, potentially up around 70 miles per hour. And so then you add the rotation to that, and that equals a tornado warning. So again, 5:45. We're at 5:41 p.m. right now. Let's go back over, take a look at Max Track. Let's look at Jackson's. Let's see what kind of reflectivity. See what kind of, let's see, that would be shear. So it does look like there's quite a little bit of shear there. Let's go over to shear rate. You can still see times of where it's on the stronger side, pushing into that red color.
We just got another tornado warning.
Okay.
It's going to be the same storm moving into Bath, Menifee, Morgan, and Rowan. That's going to be until 6 o'clock.
Okay. Another tornado warning just now issued, so it will be replacing the one that is moving over the Frenchburg area right now. Let's go back to Max Track Live. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see just the broader picture of this storm system. It doesn't look super impressive right now. I'm trying to go over to at least the Jackson's site. That would put us a little bit closer. Here we go. That puts us at least a little bit closer toward the Jackson site there in eastern Kentucky, so we can get a better handle on exactly where those storms are. So Frenchburg, you are still under the gun right now. Tornado warning has been extended. It pushes on out to the east, almost due east, maybe a little bit to maybe east-northeast, and moving still around. Is it still 45 miles per hour, Bain? Did you
it's
see?
moving at 40.
40, okay, so 40 miles per hour, so it has slowed down just a little bit. That may give you another 20 seconds to get to your safe space, but you need to be in your safe space. It's now getting closer and moving on over into the Morgan County area. So West Liberty, you need to be in your safe space right now. You have maybe another 10 or 15 minutes before this storm is on top of you. Frenchburg, it looks like the storm is weakening over you. So right now you've got the overlap of the two cells or the two warnings, but again, The warning that's back over in Menifee, the northern part of Menifee County, will probably be expiring here in about another minute, 10 seconds or so. You've got the tornado warning where you've got nothing really over into the northern part of Morgan County, but now Rowan County, the southern part of Rowan County, is going to be feeling the brunt of this storm as well as eastern Menifee County. Again, torrential rain is falling right now just north of the Frenchburg area. And if we zoom in, of course, you can see the areas that are receiving it. Ratliff, you're getting hit hard right now with a lot of rain, probably some really strong winds as well. Still not hearing of any reports of actual funnel clouds or tornado damage, but we have had reports of severe thunderstorm damage in excess of 60, maybe 70-mile-per-hour winds. We've had reports of downed trees, trees falling on cars, trees falling on houses, power lines. No doubt there will probably be some power outages from central Kentucky pushing over into the eastern Kentucky area as well. So again, tornado warning. There's 2 in place right now. 1 is getting ready to expire here, hopefully within the next 5 or so seconds. And then, of course, we'll take a look at some of these areas that will be impacted. So you've got the Big Woods area. That's going to be over in just the eastern part of Menifee County. If I zoom back in here, you can see the smaller towns that are going to be impacted. Big Woods, Scranton. The storm is right on you, Scranton. Again, you've got a lot of that, the purple that's showing up, which indicates extremely heavy rain. Let's look at hail. Let's see if hail is a factor here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so within the tornado warning, it's just the 1 tornado warning right now, but it is within a very large, expansive area of severe thunderstorm warning that includes multiple counties, about 6 or 7 counties there. You've had a hail swath that extends back over toward the Lexington area. We even had reports of some small hail in the Lansdowne area. More so the eastern part of Fayette County. We've had a little hail swath kind of moving through Clark County area, just south of Mount Sterling, and now it's kind of following the path that this tornado warning has been taking. So again, the possibility of hail is there. Possibility of damaging wind is there. Again, the tornado warning obviously means there's some sort of rotation taking shape in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So if you are out looking for funnel clouds, do not be. Please be in your safe place right now. This is a serious situation. Tornado warnings we never want to take lightly, which is why we are staying on the air until either we see some significant weakening or dissipation of the tornado warning itself. Let's go back to Max Track. Let's go to the Jackson site. Okay, so we are looking at a lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning within this system. Doesn't look maybe as intense, the rain that is, maybe not looking quite as intense as it was. We had some very heavy rain pushing through the Lexington area. Hail, again, is a possibility for some, especially in central and eastern Kentucky, as this storm is right on top of you right now. Again, the severe thunderstorm, or the tornado warning itself, is inside of a larger severe thunderstorm warning, which just goes to show you now that the National Weather Service in Jackson is just kind of broad brushing this area. This is a whole big squall line. We're starting to see maybe some supercellular activity, which hence the tornado warning that is in place right now. So as we look to the future, we will start to see hopefully this dissipate as it moves on through eastern Kentucky, and pretty soon it'll be pushing outside of our Lexington viewing area and moving on over toward the Huntington and the Charleston market. But again, you can see this expansive line that we've been dealing with in these rounds of heavy rain and storms that we've had to deal with all weekend long. And today, of course, it's culminating to a tornado warning. We always make a joke here when Bill Meck goes on vacation, we have tornado warnings, and it's not that I'm making light of it, but it's usually true. When he goes out of town or leaves for vacation and takes a few needed days off, we always have some type of severe weather popping up. So again, tornado warning in place right now. Let's zoom back in here so you can see. Let's focus hyper focus on the tornado warning. Let's look at the rain that's going on there with it. If you are seeing anything right now, it's likely some extremely heavy rain that's moving past the Frenchburg area right now into that eastern part of Menifee County. Zooming all the way in here, not seeing a whole lot of towns. Scranton, Korea, Dan, Big Woods, all of these within Ratliff, all of these within the Menifee County area. You are under the gun right now as far as the heaviest of the rain, possibly some stronger winds are concerned, even all the way up toward the northern part of the county there. Let's go over to velocity. Let's look at storm relative velocity for Jackson. Okay, so did they expire the tornado warning, Bang?
They haven't announced it yet. Oh, there it is. They just canceled it.
Okay, okay, so they just canceled the tornado warning. That's good news. I was just getting to see that rotation does look pretty weak, so that is good news. You still have the severe thunderstorm warning that is in place right now for multiple counties. I'll just go through these pretty quickly. You've got Bath County involved in that. You've got Rowan County involved in that. You've got Elliott County, which is outside of our area, Morgan County, stretching down to a portion of Magoffin County. Wolfe County is involved in that. You also have Lee County, a chunk there of Breathitt County, and that may be it. So Bath County. So we've got a good 7-8 counties involved in this severe thunderstorm warning that is going to go until 6:15 p.m. So again, the good news is the tornado warning has expired. You still want to stay in your safe place as this storm continues to roll through eastern Kentucky. Again, this is a large complex of storms. It's basically a squall line. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be some straight line wind activity kind of producing damaging wind gusts moving on through and into eastern Kentucky. Again, you have multiple counties within that severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning has expired. So we're going to pop off. And of course, if we see any other tornado warning come up or any other severe thunderstorm warning that develops, we will, of course, let you know. For now, we'll send it back to program. And is seeing a lot of heavy rain. So again, about 13 counties involved in this severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for much of eastern Kentucky until 7 p.m. These storms are moving to the east around, let's see, around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So a lot of these will continue to kind of push out of our viewing area, but you've got that line of rain that's stretching all the way up from the Portsmouth, Ohio area, down through Moorhead, Campton, and all the way back toward Rockcastle County. And then you also have more cells that are kind of firing up and bubbling over to the west. So stay weather aware, and we will continue to bring you severe weather updates as needed. Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Emily Goodman here tracking the severe weather. We said if there was more developments, we would cut back in, so I'll just make this quick. There is another line, round two, if you will, of storms that are coming into the area. I just want to give you a quick view. Well, first let's go through the severe thunderstorm warning. It is for Woodford County. That's where the storm is currently, but it's pushing into Fayette County right now. And this is going to go until 8 o'clock p.m. So we still have about another 35 or so minutes. It's also for the northern half of Jessamine County, including Nicholasville. There doesn't look to be quite as much lightning, but these storms have a big history of producing some major wind, maybe even damaging wind. So be aware that as this line comes through, that could be the case. We've had gusts as high as 56 miles per hour in Fayette County and Lexington with the last round that came through. So this round could hold just as high wind gusts. We also have that other severe thunderstorm warning that's farther to the south that includes parts of Lincoln County, Garrett County, Casey County, and Boyle County. And that one goes until 7:45, so about another 20 minutes on that one. But again, that strong storm is starting to move into western Fayette County right now. You've got Midway impacted. You've got Versailles. You've got the Dunbar area. You've got Keeneland being impacted. It's soon to move toward the Fayette Mall area. in southern Fayette County. Nicholasville is also going to be impacted here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So again, do seek shelter if you are in the path of this storm. Again, this one covers most of Fayette County, again, until 8 o'clock p.m. And I just want to roll over here quickly and show you a look at our camera as this storm is starting to come through. We've had some really brilliant shelf clouds. Ooh, a lot of lightning. They are coming in. You can see off to the distance on the right side of the screen, a lot of heavy rain that is falling right now, starting to move into the area. So I've done a time lapse on the first roll that came through. So we'll be showing that at 11 p.m. on LEX-18 News at 11. But right now you can start to see just massive clouds coming in, and obviously a lot of rain still yet to fall with this system, and we have just been inundated with the rain. So again, severe thunderstorm warning. It's sitting over Woodford County, just the top little clip there of Mercer County, northern Jessamine County, and almost all of Fayette County as the storm is rolling into the Lexington area as we speak. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8 p.m. and then we also have the larger severe thunderstorm warning down around the Danville area until 7:45 p.m. Things are still pretty quiet in southern Kentucky, so we're going to keep an eye on the rest of this. Or any kind of rotation, at least within the radar. Again, very heavy rain, possibility of some really strong winds. Bane, is your mic turned on?
Yes.
Do they have any explanation for their tornado warning other than just watching it for rotation?
Looks like National Weather Service is saying they're looking for, they saw a rotational couplet just east of Beach Bottom, that's over in Casey County, moving a little bit further by now, but that was just released just about 2 minutes ago. That's what they said.
Okay. Yeah, so I can see that over here in the far northwestern part of Casey County, just north of the Liberty area. You can kind of see maybe a little bit of a couplet there. So you see the greens moving toward radar and the red moving away. And this is the Louisville radar, so everything is going to be kind of facing up toward the north, Louisville being north. So the green kind of moving toward the radar and the red moving away, and so right in here is going to be that couplet. So, but that's technically outside of the tornado warning. So what you have moving on over to the east is, again, maybe some unorganized rotation. There's spots, again, where the red and green are kind of trying to come together. But there's just nothing strong. So that's good news. Now, northern, again, Liberty, the Houstonville area, Crab Orchard, you all need to be in your safe space right now. Get to your safe places right now. You've got strong winds at the very least, very heavy rain. These storms have had a history of producing torrential rain and really strong to damaging winds. We have had winds in excess of 50, 60 miles per hour. We've had multiple reports of downed trees, uprooted trees, some snapped trees. So time will tell whether these are straight line winds or twisting winds from rotation within thunderstorms or tornadoes, or if they are even microbursts where you have the big burst of wind and rain that just kind of comes down, hits the ground, and then fans out on either side. So again, I'm sure there will be multiple surveys that are taking shape in the next couple of days from these storms that have been moving through today. Okay, let's go back over to, let's look at radar. I'm going to keep it on the Louisville radar for now because that is definitely showing a little bit more action. Again, very heavy rain falling in the Houstonville area, a lot of lightning. And these storms are moving, let's do a lapse here. Most of these have been moving over to the east. Some of these possibly maybe moving it to the east or southeast. Let's see, my lapse. Let's go back to live. So they do look to be moving to the east. So again, the places that are under the gun right now, so to speak, Houstonville, I'm going to zoom on in here right at the border of Casey County and Lincoln County. You've got smaller towns like Mount Salem. You need to be in your safe spot right now, Mount Salem. We also have Geneva. We have New Salem. You have McKinney. I have been there. In fact, that's my maiden name, McKinney. Houstonville, Chicken Bristol, Blue Lick, Jumbo, Miracle, now moving on over into Lincoln County, Halls Gap, Highland, Maywood. These are all these smaller towns that you need to be aware of, be in your safe space for all of these.
We just got another tornado warning. This is going to be for Garrett and Lincoln County until 8:15.
Okay, so second tornado warning issued from this same cell, the same storm that is moving through. This one is going to be impacting the Stanford area and then moves on over into the Garrett County area. So you've got the first tornado warning for parts of Casey County, southern Lincoln County, and then it overlaps with the second tornado warning, which is going to include parts of Lincoln County and Garrett County until 8:15 p.m. So again, as long as these tornado warnings are in place, we are going to stay on air and keep you updated. Again, some of those smaller towns that I just mentioned, you need to be in your safe space right now. If you live in Casey or Lincoln County, especially Lincoln County, you need to be in your safe space right now. Let's take a look at exactly what that means for us, get the CDUC and kind of what that means. C stands for close those interior doors. D stands for get downstairs. If you don't have a basement, get to the lowest level of your home. Get under something sturdy. Take something with you, books, a mattress, a table if you have it, to kind of pull it over your body, especially protecting your head. Keep in the center of the home away from windows and doors. Put as many walls between you and the outside elements as you possibly can, because those outside rooms will be protecting you from the elements and from the wind. So again, CDUC, this is for tornado warnings particularly, but you could also apply this to severe thunderstorm warnings, and we've seen many of those this afternoon and this evening. So let's go back over to our radar and kind of take a look at what's going on. Again, Stanford, you are in the midst of this right now. You have got a lot of rain, strong winds. We've had anywhere from 60, maybe even to 70-mile-per-hour winds associated with some of these storms, and tornadoes just pose an even greater threat. Not only do you have the potential for maybe straight line winds, but you have the potential for that twisting. In fact, let's take a look at some of the shear products to see what we do have going on. Let's go with the Louisville radar. Let's look at shear rate. Okay, so just south of the Stanford area, you do have just a little bit of a strong shear showing up right now west of the Crab Orchard area. So again, this is that twisting of the atmosphere that we've been talking about that helps to kind of form those funnel clouds and that twisting and that spinning. So we do have, again, the two tornado warnings that are overlapping right now. Let's look to see if there's any. Let's see, there's a shear swath. This kind of shows the movement of the storm. It does still look to be on the weaker side, but again, you can start to see little pieces of red. There just popped up some more. So the latest lapse of the time of the max track, of course, shows a little bit more strong in the way of the shear. Hail is also a possibility from these storms. We haven't had too many reports of hail. If it has, it's been on the smaller side, maybe half an inch to an inch. So you can see some of these pink colors represent the possibility of hail within the storm. Let's go back and look at storm relative velocity. This shows the twisting or couplets or spinning within the movement of the storm. So that kind of helps us to see exactly maybe where some of that rotation could be. So here's velocity. So it looks like there is maybe a pretty decent little spin that's going on right now just west of the Crab Orchard area. That's where that shear was that I was talking about. So this is going to be south of the Stanford area. Wrong button. So let's zoom it out here just a little bit so you can see the two tornado warnings that are in place right now. It looks like a lot of the action over Casey County is beginning to weaken, and that warning is until 8 o'clock. So still about 12 more minutes, 11 more minutes on that storm. But we also have the new one that is over farther to the east, again, which is moving up into the Garrett County area. If you're in southern Garrett County, you need to be in your safe space right now. Don't wait. Don't be outside trying to take pictures of funnel clouds or hail or get videos. You can do that after, or you can make sure that you are extremely safe as you're doing so, but this is not the time to do it. Let's go back over to MaxTrack. If we look at MaxTrack, obviously our radar is here at the station, so we're not seeing as much in the way of the heavy rain. Let's look at Louisville's to see kind of what they're seeing. So it does look a little bit more intense with Louisville. So again, very heavy rain, a good possibility with this. Still seeing the potential for maybe just a little bit of any kind of thing that starts to kind of hang down like this right here is an area of suspicion. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Up around the Stanford area, again, just torrential rain that's falling right now. Bain, are we seeing any sort of reports at all?
No reports over in that area. Looks like just some pretty high winds over there right now.
Yeah. We've had reports of wind gusts in excess of 50, 55 miles per hour from the past 2 rounds, or really 1 round that came through where we had the tornado warnings for eastern Kentucky and multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. So even straight line winds are a threat with this storm, but obviously the tornado threat is the worst part of it. So we're gonna keep it here. Again, Houstonville, you're looking at extremely heavy rain. Eventually, this is gonna start to kind of push on over toward the east. We're hoping that it weakens. We have been seeing that trend in the last few kind of spins of radar. So we're hoping that that's the case. But as of right now, this could be heading right toward the Berea area, maybe even parts of western and northern Rockcastle County getting in on some action too here pretty soon. So there was another update of radar. Again, kind of watching this area right here. Anytime you have some little notch that kind of sticks down can be cause for some concern. Let's go back and look at our velocities, see what's going on velocity, if there's any spin in the atmosphere. Looks like there may be just a little bit. Let's zoom in here. Moving into the Crab Orchard area. I grew up in this area, grew up in Rockcastle County, Mount Vernon, Broadhead, so I'm very familiar with Stanford and the Crab Orchard area. If you are traveling along 150, Highway 150 right now, you need to be pulling off the road and finding a shelter to get to immediately. Crab Orchard, you need to be in your safe spot right now. There's also maybe just a little bit of a hint of some rotation down along Highway 27. Again, this is going to be for southeast of the Houstonville area in southern Lincoln County. You got Casey County here, 127, maybe even a little bit of rotation there. Again, anytime you have those reds and greens that are really close together, that is where your couplet's going to be. Hearing some thunder here at the station right now, but obviously that's the least of our concerns right now because we are focused on the tornado warnings that are at hand right now. Again, traveling along Highway 150, 27, moving on closer toward Rockcastle County in Broadhead. Again, Broadhead, you need to be seeking shelter from this storm as well. Rotation looks to be heading right over Highway 150. Again, Crab Orchard is right in the line. If these storms are moving to the east around 40, 45 or so miles per hour, let's see where they are headed and where they're going to be in the next several minutes. Starting here, let's go 40 miles per hour. You've got Sugar Grove. It is on you in 1 minute. Crab Orchard, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Conway, that's in Rockcastle County, 18 minutes. Boone, 20 minutes. Roundstone, Rockcastle County, 20 minutes. Wilde, 21. Slate Lake, 22 minutes. All the way up to Climax in Rockcastle County, 27 minutes from you. So again, this storm is packing a punch as it moves through. Again, we're not hearing of any reports, correct, Bain?
Nope, not yet.
No reports. No reports of any funnel cloud. Okay, there was another update of radar. where we're still seeing a couple of areas of concern. Any kind of twist that we have is not good when given all of the energy that is just being pumped into the atmosphere right now from not only the heat. We saw a decent amount of sunshine today. We have seen a lot of moisture. The air mass has just been very juicy, if you will, like pea soup, very humid, very muggy. So all of these ingredients have come together to kind of culminate today. We've been giving the chance for severe weather since Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's our third day. And we're under that enhanced risk for severe storms. So this is kind of what happens whenever you get that. You get some twisting in the atmosphere, you get a lot of strong winds, especially if you get any kind of bowing, which shows up on radar. Let's go back to the Louisville radar. You start to see a lot of wind with these kinds of systems. Again, I'm still watching this little notch right here. Anytime you have a little piece that just kind of wants to stick down out from the main line, that can be cause for concern. Let's take a look here at, let's see, we did shear rate. Let's look back at the rain rate, very heavy, obviously. We're watching that just super torrential downpours at times. Hail has not been a big problem, so we're thankful for that. You can still see the possibility of hail anytime these pink colors show up. Once it kind of moves on over toward the black or even the white, that's where you start to get a little bit more possibility of larger hail, or at least smaller hail that is likely to be falling in these areas. Let's go back to radar. Let's kind of zoom out. Now, right now, I'm not seeing any kind of, let's see, severe thunderstorm warnings for the most part have expired. We still have the one that's covering the Fayette County area right now, Woodford County too. That one should be expiring pretty soon, 8 o'clock. So we got about 4 more minutes to go on that. Again, the cause for concern are the 2, not 1, but 2 tornado warnings. It seems like they've come in pairs. The last round that came through around 6 o'clock or so, it was the same way. We had 2 and they kind of overlapped for a little bit. I guess we're just covering our bases here. So again, tornado warnings, 2 tornado warnings if you're just now joining us, in effect for Lincoln, Casey County, as well as Garrett County, southern Garrett County. A lot of these look like they are obviously moving to the east. So Rockcastle County, you are next. Berea, you are next with seeing these storms. Southern Madison County. So we hope that these continue to weaken as they move toward the I-75 corridor. There's a lot of travel going on right now. A lot of people trying to enjoy the holiday weekend, and it's a really bad time for storms. So we hope that these really just kind of fall apart and don't do much and move on and leave us alone. So again, the Stanford area, let's kind of take a look at some of these counties and cities, towns that are being impacted right now. Extremely heavy rain in McKinney, Geneva right now, South Fork, Jumbo, Highland area, Halls Gap, Ottenheim. So again, a lot of these are pushing over toward the Crab Orchard area. You can kind of see where the flashing boxes are. You've got the 2 tornado warnings that are basically overlapped right here just west of Crab Orchard. Let's go to severe.
And Emily, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Fleming, Estill, Bath, Lee, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, Powell, Rowan, and Wolf. That's going to be until 8:45, as well as another tornado warning. It's going to be for Garrett and Lincoln again, but it's going to be until 8:30.
Okay, so they're just extending the current tornado warning, adding it on some time. So about 30 more minutes from now. So until this continues to weaken, move on out of the area, we're going to stay here and keep you updated. So again, Walnut Flat. It does look like there's a bit of rotation right here around Walnut Flat. Again, you've got the couplet that's here. Anytime you've got the red color and the green color coming together, that is when you start to see that rotation taking shape. So again, Louisville up to the north, you've got the green that's going toward Louisville. You've got the red that's kind of coming around. So then, of course, that means you've got your rotation right here. So again, nothing is confirmed. Again, you should be in your safe space right now if you are in Lincoln County. If you are near the Walnut Flat area, if you are near Crab Orchard, again, this looks like it could potentially even be one of those kind of where it's a really broad area of rotation. So let's see, let's clear this off. Rotation potentially down around the Crab Orchard area right now. Crab Orchard, that storm is moving over you as we speak. If you are traveling along Highway 150, you need to be pulling off the road and finding a shelter as soon as humanly possible. Gum sulfur, that's going to be pushing into and toward the Rockcastle County area, and then eventually Broadhead is going to be on the horizon for this storm system. You've got Ottenheim that's looking at maybe a little bit of rotation as well. It looks like there's the possibility of not one or two, but a few different spots of rotation. And when I say rotation, I mean things are twisting in the atmosphere. It's not confirmed that there's a tornado on the ground. It's not even confirmed that there's damage from wind, but this is just kind of the precursor, kind of lets us know if there were to be a tornado, this is where it would be occurring. So again, it's kind of a mess right now. You can kind of see a lot of that action. You've got 3 tornado warnings in place right now. We have just got a lot going on. Let's see. I'm going to put it back on radar for just a second. Sometimes I'm able to maneuver it just a little bit better sitting here at the computer. So again, 3 tornado warnings that are in effect right now. Again, these are impacting Casey County, Lincoln County, Garrett County, and eventually pushing over toward the Rockcastle County area. And these are now extended to 8:30 p.m.